When it comes to reaching the end of a point in time or a stage in one's life, nobody knows how it's ever going to end. Of course, we always want the best ending that we possibly can have, whether it's the finishing of a book, the finishing of a television series, or anything else that really does take a long period of time. We hope that all the work that we put into the project that we have dedicated so much time and effort to really does bear fruit, and we all truly believe that we have fulfilled what we had set out to do, and we also hope that the next step in our lives is going to be a good thing, but at the same time, the thing that we leave behind, we also want to make sure that we did definitely make an impact, and we did make a difference. When 2019 rolled around, I knew that this was the stage where I was really starting to think about the fact that it was going to be 10 years after 2020, and that I felt was a good time to end the current state of things on my YouTube channel. There were more important life obligations that I wanted to deal with, and I wanted those to be a true primary point in my life. Though I did still decide to make the decision that this wasn't going to be the end of my presence in YouTube. I just decided that there's definitely a better way that I could still keep myself as a presence, to be a voice, to be a helping hand, and still try to make some kind of a positive impact. Though one of the few things that I did actually notice by the time 2019 was wrapping up, even though it was a very good year, I definitely saw a lot of change. Change in the world and change in people that I knew, as well as changes in the YouTube community. Unfortunately, it was due to some horrible circumstances that, of course, were political, and it caused massive divisions everywhere you went. People were at each other's throats. People felt that they were unwanted. People felt that they just didn't have a place, and more importantly, when it came to creating videos on YouTube, regardless of the community, people felt that they just weren't able to be their true, genuine selves and talk about the things they wanted. Otherwise, they believed that they were going to get judged for that. And I actually didn't want to feel like that, but I did eventually end up in that category. And especially in 2019, there was a great deal of stress. I was dealing with so many things, dealing with life, dealing with my marriage, dealing with friends and family, trying to make time for all of the important people in my life. And YouTube was starting to turn out to be just more of a chore, and I was really starting to lose my interest. But I still felt that there was a way that I could hang on and get to the very end of my own specific goal. But very interesting and positive things happened as well in that time frame. One of the most amazing things that I never would have thought possible was the fact that I would discover a love and passion for comic books again, all thanks to a trip that I took with my wife and her parents to the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia and went to an exhibit on Marvel Comics, and I saw comic books on display that I actually had in my own personal collection. Ironically, I was just about to finish up living in my house for 1 year, and I never actually brought my comic book collection to my new house. Well, that actually changed after I came home, and I brought it home and I started sifting through it, and I just said to myself, one of my goals was to read a lot of stories that I missed out on, so I really played a great deal of catch-up, and it was such an uplifting thing to actually have in my life again. And I started to talk about those comic books on my YouTube channel in some shape or form. Not constantly, but sometimes. And I got lots of feedback from people that I knew saying, this is so cool, I want to know more about comics. And then I suddenly realized that whether it was in the film critics community or the booktube community, there were people out there that were trying to get started on comic books. And then I discovered the comic book community, which I absolutely loved. And it was just such a great thing to know. And then when 2020 came around, knowing that it was going to be my last year in my current format, that that was when COVID-19 came around, just a few months later, and let me just say, it was not easy. And it still isn't easy, because we are still in the middle of a pandemic. Though I did see a great outreach of so many different people trying to find ways to connect, but it was still very difficult knowing that we couldn't get together with friends and family as often as we liked. We couldn't go and celebrate important occasions. We just had to find things to do in regards to what we were able to do. And one of the things that I was not able to do was go to a movie theater and see something new on the big screen. And I was trying to find out how was I going to finish my last year in this format, because I knew for a solid fact that I wasn't going to be going for one more year like that after 2020. But I managed to find a way. And I also managed at some points in time to truly relieve my stress, whether it was reaching out to a friend via social media, or through a video chat, or just sitting at my desk and reading something interesting. But now that we are approaching the end of 2020, I have truly been, unfortunately, disappointed, because when I was really at the peak of my creativity here, and I would do a lot of tag videos, and I would specifically go to other people's channels and ask them, when you decide to stop making videos, what's the legacy that you want to leave behind? I know for a solid fact that I wanted to be happy knowing that I would pass the torch on to a whole new generation of content creators. But right now, I don't want to pass that torch on, because a lot of the people that are out there are just not the people that I thought they were. I've seen good people just vanish. I've seen good people become villainous. I have seen horrible rhetoric thrown at so many different people, and now that we are about to embrace a brand new set of leaders here in our country of the United States, it still seems that there are divisions that are stronger than ever, and it really makes me upset knowing that when I officially decide to stop doing what I'm doing, that it's still not gonna feel like I truly made a difference. I really feel that I did the best that I ever could, and I am grateful for the 10 years that I had here. And it makes me even more upset knowing that I'm ending this documentary series on a down note. But unfortunately, I cannot sugarcoat this. This is the truth. This platform is not what it used to be. It is not a great place anymore. And all that I hope for is that we will come together. We will find ways to heal. We will find ways to reconnect. Heck, people that unfortunately have parted ways with me in terms of friendship, in terms of feedback, I'm hoping that one day that we will be able to meet each other again, because I know that the people who no longer support my channel, regardless of anything, I knew in my heart of hearts that they were good people, and I wanted to know them more. I wanted to be a part of their lives, and I wanted them to be a part of my life too. But all the things that I unfortunately have realized will not be happening again, at least not for now. I am just willing to still hold on to that little sliver of hope that YouTube, regardless of whether I am here or not, will become that wonderful, warm, community-building platform that it really once was. I will say, however, that looking back on these last 10 years, I do not regret a single thing that I did or a single thing that I have said. I am proud of the last 10 years. I am proud of my legacy that I know I have left behind. And one day there will be younger people that join this platform, and they will find my channel, and they will see the positivity, the creativity, the innovation, the willing to educate, the willing to assist, the willing to share. They will know that there was a good person on this platform, and there will still be a good person on this platform. It may not be the same thing, but I do know that some of the friendships that I have built here in this community are some of the strongest and most powerful friendships that I have ever built, and I have decided that they should be a part of my next step on this amazing journey. And if you watch this, and if you've heard all of these last couple of videos, I'm hoping that you will take that journey with us. Hey, thank you Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.